girl? How are you? Uh, I know I've been MIA for, I think it's 2 years, maybe more. So I definitely look like a different person at this point in the journey. I feel like it wasn't necessarily planned for me to stop putting the energy out. I'm working while we're talking because I am a baker now, and I'm making some savory cheese rolls. So bear with me as I do both. So when I closed up the chapter 2 years ago, it was really I knew I was going into baking, but I didn't know the journey that it would be. And I thought, like, oh, I'm going to totally have time to do another channel all about baking because it seemed like the natural thing for me to do next. And let me tell you, that 2 years took me by storm. Like, nothing that I thought was going to happen happened. Everything that I didn't even have the capacity to dream of is happening. And I had to fully surrender every part of my soul to birth this reality forward. And I don't know why, you guys. I don't know. I don't know why. In this moment, I just picked up the camera with no intention to do so. Feel like it's time to move the energy and to start telling you what's what and where I'm at. And I'm sure it's going to be multiple updates because this girl has died, I would say, 3 full deaths since we last saw each other. It started with the death of the nonprofit that I had created with 2 beautiful sisters of mine, and letting that fully decompose, let go, surrender, like fully. At that point, everything that I felt like I had been building was to that moment. And we had some great times with that. And it was, if you came, you got to experience what my life looks like on the best days, you know? I mean, our intention was to create a space where the nervous system was so relaxed and nurtured that people could let go into what it feels like to be awakened, like fully embodied awakened. And man, we had some good times. And then that season ended, and it ended with a bang. It wasn't something planned, of course, as it never is. We literally had to surrender to what the energy was showing, and that it had run its course, and it was time to move on to individual projects. And that led each of the people that I was in partnership, it led them in their own directions across the universe. And for me, it opened up a window of time that I could actually dive head with a knife, dive head first into my next experience, which, holy crap, you guys. I not only became a baker, but in this 2 years, this lady has put it all on the line. I bought a building. I renovated that building to become a commercial kitchen. This lady is opening up a full experience, and not just a bakery. I mean, yes, it's dressed as a bakery, but what it actually is a way for me to express what it feels like to be alive in this time, in this space, with the most devotion and love that possibly could pour through me in any given moment. And it's crazy because I don't know if you guys remember the story, but Richard made us a Sprinter van during COVID, and that Sprinter van was the thing that led us to where it was going to happen. And neither of us knew this was where we were going at all. But in the years leading up to it, we drove through all of California, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, and then back to California. Like, we were hovering, hovering, and not even understanding why we were hovering, to be honest. Like, we thought this beautiful home that we have was it. Like, we thought we were going to be here forever. Like, that's when we bought it, what we thought. But obviously, in all of those journeys that we took, we were like not only honing our own vibration, but also like picking up codes along the way in terms of like, oh my God, life could look like this. And there are I'm going to give just a throw out to two places where I picked up a lot of codes. One was called Bisbee, Arizona, and the other one is called Germain, and that's also in Arizona. Both places really showed Richard and I a version of what we're doing. And not that anyone in those towns are doing this, because I don't know anyone that's doing this, but I could just be in my own ego on that one. It meant that when we felt it, when we found it, we would feel it, right? Like, we would know, like, without a doubt, this is it. And it happened in November of 2024. Richard and I went on a weekend trip to this beautiful place that is the place where all of this is being birthed, called Idlewild, California. Makes me so happy to say that. And we went to this national park there, and we were sitting on the rocks, and overlooking is this sea of pines. And I can give you my perspective of it. I had just had a pilgrimage, and by that I mean a journey with the pines. And the pines that day showed me who I was, and showed me like what it is to be embodied in leadership, in stewarding, and birthing, and holding your center. All of this came through the pines that day. Like, and as I sat there in Idlewild on this peak of a mountain and seeing the pines below me, I knew this is it. This is the pines that they showed me, like, that I'd be learning from and that I'd be growing with. And I looked at Richard, and he was like, is this it? And I'm like, I was like, I feel it. And he's like, me too. And I thought it meant that we would be moving to Idlewild, because, you know, what else would you be doing in this idyllic location? But no, he started looking for real estate for commercial buildings. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? What are we doing with a commercial building? And he's like, we're opening a bakery here. And I was like, what? So it wasn't even like, even though I was baking and I was doing it locally and selling in shops here, I did not think of it in that way. Like, but of course, I'm telling you guys, he just, without being conscious to it, knows the next step. So, oh God, I mean, in those last 2 years, I have surrendered every part of what I thought my reality was going to be, and have fully embraced what it is, which is like literally finding presence in every single moment that I'm in the bakery. And what I mean by that is, like, you can do none of these recipes without fully being here. I don't know, like, it took me 2 years of learning how to bake to even get to this moment where I'm actually saying that, because it was always a stretch for me to even talk on the phone while I'm doing this, or much less like texting a person, or, you know, like, it never flowed, and it never felt like it was the time. And I bought the stand that the phone's on right now. I bought probably a year ago, because I had some knowing that something was coming, but I recorded. I still thought that it was baking. So it's a contraption where I can angle down and show, what I'm doing. Which that wasn't going to be it, obviously, but I am going to show you what I'm doing so that you guys can see. Hopefully I can. Let's see. I don't know how this thing works. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait. I'm making these rolls here. Okay. And I'm doing this on my cell phone because wait, hold on. I might have to back up again. I don't know what happened. Okay. There we go. This is impromptu, so I'm going with the impromptu, and I have heard/seen people that do a YouTube channel on their phone because that's what they have available. So that's what I'm going with. And there's no lighting in here other than the natural light of the window. So, okay. I bought this stand a year ago thinking it was going to be a baking something. And here I am at this very now moment, clearly aware that it is not that. So I was like, okay, girl, get the camera, let's go. And I look back because I can't move forward without honoring and having gratitude for every step that brought me to this moment, because holy crap, I have had to face every single fear that I have had my entire life. I have had to literally pick at the scabs of the wounds that I have carried with me. At this point I'm 50. I turned 50 this last year. That every wound that I've carried as a badge of honor, a badge of protection, a badge of survival, all of those things I had to shed to get to this freaking moment. Oh, and the heartbreak, my God. But what I realized is through each heartbreak, it broke me wider open and open and open. And it's grief and heartbreak, it takes its space, and it needs its space. And it's at times had me on my knees in many, 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 many ways with people that I love dearly. But what I realized is that those dear friends, conscious or unconscious to it, literally were loving me to the core of teaching me a lesson about myself that not anyone else could have. And in that, there's also once you rise to the occasion and you blast through it and you're like, I got this, girl. I see you. I see what you're doing here. On the other side, it doesn't always mean that they're there to celebrate it. But I also feel in that dance, I think I needed the space to allow myself to go so deep with these sisters that I didn't have another outlet. I was solely focused, was dialed in to the situation at hand, fully present. And I needed to be, because holy crap, oof. I dove all the way into having a child, literally housed, fed, nourished, nurtured, loved, cared for in every way for 2 years. And I can now come out the other side and say holy shit, I now know what I would have been had I been a parent in this life. I was shown all of my weaknesses, all of my acquiescing, all of my forgiving, all of my deep love, gratitude, So much fun that I didn't know I was capable of having. Like true bonding at its like core. And man, did that like open me up, you know, like show me who I could become. Like it got really back in touch with my own childhood to the point of like look at me, I'm a different person. I've literally cut my hair I think 3 times to get rid of the old person, because this person is not who you guys last saw. Like she is wild, feral, fun, like fully embodied, like to the point where now instead of serving people on YouTube, this girl is out there slinging bread left and right, like seeing each customer as their full bloomed self, and like loving from that place. Like that's what this 2 years has taught me. You know, I always thought like it's gonna be readings and it's gonna be retreats, and like out of nowhere this left turn came and said nope, it's gonna be with the general public, and you're gonna find the magic in every moment. And let me tell you, I feel like I am in full flow in that expression now, like fully embodied, that I don't even sleep actually. Because over the last like year and a half, the bakery's been under construction, and so I go up it's about 2.5 hours drive from here. I go up every single Saturday with a van full of amazing pastries, breads, like croissants and all the things, cakes, and I spread out my wares in front of the building and we sell out. Like it is a thing. It's become a thing of like community, and I've seen people make connections at that booth, and like we just literally pop up right in front of the building. And it's been happening, like I said, over a year, maybe a year and a half. And it has taught me how to be present in the flow of service, like to the core. I mean, at that point, I would have gotten up at 1 a.m. and I go usually until 10 p.m. that next day. So, or that day. So I am in full timelessness, devotion, presence, service. And when I look back to who I was 2 years ago when I last recorded here, that was true in that space, like in the office behind the computer, like, you know, like I could, and then like it was, the retreats opened me up to this much, and then that died, and then it was like stretch a little more, stretch a little more, stretch a little more, and now I'm like because I am in my full mission now, like beyond any reason that I could have pictured it. Both of my grandfathers on my maternal and paternal sides were wheat farmers and literally paved the path for this. So I'm just like stepping into each day, one day at a time, what is becoming. And whew, girl, it feels like, I know people talk about a new earth, but this feels like actually finding a small like stake and putting it in the ground and saying, no, I'm going to live a new earth, and this is what it actually looks like. And I get to create in that world, which means like I get to decide what I make. I get to decide how I express it, how it looks. Like now with the building, like how we had to remodel the building completely. So what that looks like, and the whimsy. And I'm just going to give you a little example of what I'm talking about. I'm working on the bathroom right now, and you know, you can get tiles, you can do that. Like how do you express in a bathroom? And I looked around the bakery and I see like where the earth element is and where the fire is and where the air is. And I was like, we need water. We need water. So I'm like, how can we make a bathroom into water? Like, that's what I want. And at first it took the shape of these little tiles that I I did as like herringbone, so they felt like a wave. But Richard didn't like it. And I was like, okay, I'm surrendered. I'm surrendered. And this last weekend, we went to the tile shop together and we found these huge slabs of they're just made out of porcelain, so they're not Larimar, but they look like Larimar, like literally inside the cocoon of the ocean. And we're gonna do them floor to ceiling. And I don't know what else is going in there, but I know that that bathroom is gonna feel like the ocean. So this is what I'm talking about, like playing as if it's a temple, because in this case it is a temple and I am creating in that vein and looking around me and looking for the souls that fit that capacity, because it's a definite stretch for probably a lot of people to receive that much love, much less give that much love. And it has been, well, it's taken time to really like hone in what it is that I want, really. And I have a friend, a trusted, amazing sister, that has been asking me that question for the last 2 years. Well, what do you need? What do you want? And I couldn't answer it, because I felt like this was all just in flow to divine. So I was like, I don't know. I'm just as baffled as you. I'm just taking one step, you know? But it finally came to the crosshairs where I needed to know what I need to do this expression. And it doesn't look like I thought it would, you know, like I had to get to the holy hell no, the full on protection of a birthing, of a reality, of a I am only accepting this and not this. I can let that go because that doesn't fit here anymore. And going through those heartaches got me to I fucking know what this is. And I mean, yeah. So at this moment, this girl is not only fully in her knowing, she's in her dragon, she is in her warrior, and she's also in the most softest place that I've ever been. So I don't know what this is going to look like, but if you want to stick around, I hope to take you on the journey. You know, I like to say, in terms of third dimension, I love to assist other people. I loved to make other people look good. And that was reflected through my career choices. And in this reality, holy crap, I am that person that has to create a new reality of what it means to hold space for others in love, in a new earth, with ideals that are set so that there is no ambiguity on what kind of shenanigans can go down in my space, but also like being open to learning, you know, like being open to like encouraging other people's passions to show me the way, because I know this is a community effort. I know that this is not just me, and I'm just like stepping back and watching it like unfold and like making the choices that feel the best in the moment. But I'm also here to grow and learn and experience and like fully embody what it means to live in a community that is conscious. And it's not that I'm out there like preaching spirituality, because that isn't what it is. Like that's my way of viewing what a new earth is. But a new earth is acceptance of all that is in your field. So whatever pocket of the world you are in at this very moment, what you see around you is you. So how do you celebrate the fuck out of that? And as my friend would say, how do you juice the fuck out of it? Because it is like, it is what your mirror is, and that is what your reality is. So I look at what I'm doing as like such a embodiment of devotion to where I find myself, where I feel the most safe, seen, heard, honored, cherished, grounded, alive. That's the key word for me in all of this, is that I want Almost Heaven to be the place that reminds people what it feels like to be alive. And that's a tall order, but girl, obviously I'm up for it. Yeah, I hope to come back. We'll see what happens. And at this, I'm gonna give you like a very practical what's happening on the ground right now. I'm probably 2 weeks away from moving full time up to Idlewild because we're very close to opening the bakery. So right now you find me in my home kitchen, which I know you can't really see, but other than this beautiful talisman that my beautiful sister Faith made for me, my life is going to get very interesting very quickly. And let me tell you a little bit about Idlewild. It's the most magical place I've ever been. And I say, and I've been girl, I've been around, but it is literally for me the most magical home vibration that I've ever felt anywhere on this planet. It is an unincorporated town in the mountains above Palm Springs, and it is a very, I feel, conscious communication or community because it's unincorporated, and meaning that actually our mayor is a dog, and there isn't any chains, like no fast food, no Starbucks, no, it's all like, if you're have a shop there, you live there, like, you know, it's that kind of vibe. And there's lots of fairies, there's dragons, there's shaman, there is wizards. I mean, there's gnomes. I mean, every kind of being that you could imagine is there, but it's like they're on the verge of actually knowing it. So it's like some actually already know it. There's a lot of witches. But it's like this gathering place of all of these magical beings that are on various stages of their journey, but they feel the call to this location. So it's like, what better playground could this girl be playing in? So I am so excited. I cannot wait for this journey to begin, and I hope that you'll be on the journey with me. So come back, see where we go.